You've been telling us about Notre Dame right now in the 2027 class. They're evaluating quarterbacks, they're building relationships, but no offers as of yet. What's the latest in quarterback recruiting in that class?
We're getting close.
Okay.
Getting close, Darren. We've been talking about this, and maybe I've been like more excited about this than it deserves to be, or whatever. I love quarterback recruiting. It's just fun. You take usually one per year. I think Penn State's got a couple quarterback commits in 2026. So it happens. Sometimes schools take two, but for Notre Dame, it's one a year. At least it's been that way for the past several years. And it's exciting. I love covering quarterbacks. So, anyways, there's three names I want to talk about. Are there more than three names to discuss when it comes to the totality of Notre Dame quarterback recruiting in 2027? Absolutely. But there's three names I want to discuss for this program today. And starting with Kareem Hughley, 5'11 and a half, 190 pounds. Notre Dame definitely wants, maybe once isn't the right word, but I think it's trending towards Notre Dame getting a more athletic quarterback. So a more dual threat kind of guy. So if you look at it, 2022, Steve Angeli, more of a pocket guy. 2023, Kenny Minchie, definitely a pocket passer, but moves really well. CJ Carr moves well, pocket passer. 2025, Blake Hebert was your quarterback, athlete for sure. 2026, Grubbs, pocket guy. 2027, so you can see kind of it alternates. Maybe a little bit more of a traditional quarterback passer, and then the next one more of a mobile guy. And in modern day football, Darren, you have to have a quarterback who does both, right? We know that, but you kind of might gravitate towards one stylistic aspect of being a signal caller, and so just kind of set the foundation for that. We're talking about 27. It does seem like it might be more of an athletic quarterback, and Kareem Hughley and the other two we're going to talk about fit that. And he is from Gainesville, Georgia, which is an Atlanta suburb, and he's the number 202 overall player, number 15 quarterback according to the 2027 On3 Injury ranking. Gino Guidugli went out to see Hughley throw a few weeks ago, and then Hughley set up a visit to get to campus just this past Monday. So I think that, Guidugli goes and sees him, and then Hughley visits campus. It seems that the two parties are pretty serious and interested. Like, there's a strong mutual interest in each other. So we'll track him closely. I do get the sense, Darren, that Notre Dame is close to offering a quarterback in the 27 class. It could be this week, definitely by the end of May. Maybe I shouldn't say definitely. Most likely by the end of May. And I would expect maybe 3 offers. Could be 2, could be 4, but think like 3, certainly. And I could see the 3 guys we're talking about here getting like that. It could potentially be the 3, but it very much remains to be seen. Those conversations are ongoing. Another guy visiting. This is on Wednesday, from what Blue and Gold understands. Hank Hendricks from Bourne, Texas, now at Fayetteville High School in Arkansas because his dad joined the Arkansas staff this offseason. So he's now at Fayetteville High School. Of course, that is the same town where the Razorbacks call home. Hendricks, 4-star prospect, the number 19 overall QB in the On3 industry ranking. But if you look at On3's own rankings, the number 4 quarterback. So On3 much higher than him on him than the industry ranking suggests right now. 6'2", 165 pounds. Another guy that Gino saw this spring, and again visiting this Wednesday. And then Blue and Gold, usually ahead of the game and reporting on Notre Dame recruiting. First reported that Teddy Gerard, I broke this news yesterday. Teddy Gerard, 6'3", 190 pounds, number 14 overall player. Number 14 quarterback, number 184 player in the 2027 class. And then On3 ranks him higher than that industry ranking. He's going to be visiting campus early June. I believe it was on the 4th or the 5th, but you can find that at blueandgold.com. When Gino saw Hughley, he also made it to Teddy Gerard's high school in Kennesaw, Georgia at North Cobb, and he's going to get to campus. And from what I understand, Gino likes Gerard a lot too. So that's 3 names to keep an eye on, and there's definitely others that you could see Notre Dame offering, and like Gino did a look. A big reason why Notre Dame is late to offering some of these quarterbacks is the staff just didn't get to see any guy really. And I think they saw like 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the January period because they were kind of focused on winning a national championship. They fell short, but they made it to the championship game. I don't think Gino in the 2024-25 season was going to, risk, getting his guys prepared at the sake of seeing some more quarterbacks and that he wouldn't get for, 2 more years. So that's a bit of the reason, but uh, it's not. I don't think that Notre Dame's like behind per se. Like these quarterbacks are excited about Notre Dame, and they understand that Notre Dame hasn't offered anyone yet. I think Notre Dame and Clemson are the only 2 schools that haven't, and that are notable Division I programs. Like it is, they're just taking their time for one reason or another, and Notre Dame offers. It's a big deal because they haven't offered anyone yet, and they're coming off of a national championship appearance. These prospects, again, they really like what Notre Dame's offering. They like Mike Denbrock, Gino Gaduli, Marcus Freeman, the recruiting office. These guys are doing a good job on the trail.
Mike, I want to ask you about just your overall vibes about the 2026 class that is getting so much great notoriety across the country. And let me start with this.
Mhm.
Last year, it just felt like, as we were talking about the 25 class, there was so much Deuce Night drama that overwhelmed the conversation.
Yeah.
In this particular class, I don't feel like we're heading in that direction.
What's interesting also, 100%, and I talked about this with the other night with Tim Hyde, is, there's often 2 camps when it comes to commitments. It's overhyped. It's like, man, every 3-star is just, he should be ranked so much higher. And just so much excitement. We who cares what the rankings are? We have the best class in the country. There's that angle. And then the other angle is, I don't care about verbal commitments. Wake me up on signing day. Like all these kids commit and then they never sign. Darren, last year was an abnormally high year of decommits for Notre Dame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 32 players committed to Notre Dame in the 2025 class. 78% of them signed. So on a year where Notre Dame had more decommits than usual, still 78% of commits signed. So let's now go into what you just talked about. There's a lot of reason to be excited about this 2026 class. And could there be some deflections, whether it's guys who are committed to Notre Dame right now or players who could commit to Notre Dame this month or in June or July or August or whatever? Yeah, it's definitely possible. It's probable, actually. But a big, like, Notre Dame didn't jump out to the number 1 class in the country by some of these rankings websites because they have so many commitments, right? That the rivals' early rankings are just a big popularity contest. Who has the most commitments? Notre Dame didn't do that for a few reasons. They wanted their strong evaluations. Darren, part of the reasons you have early decommitments is, man, you took an early commitment and he's not having the senior season we thought he would have, and we need to part ways. And the other thing is, man, we took this early commitment, but we don't think that this kid, might not fit the Fighting Irish program, and he ends up decommitting. And it's not like the staff pushed out. Like the Deuce Knight's a perfect example. Committed to Notre Dame early and then wavered and flipped. So there's both angles of this. But with Notre Dame, like really taking their time, I think how they handled a lot of these prospects, they're doing it the right way. So I don't think you're going to see many decommitments in this class because, again, I think they did their due diligence in scouting, and I think they're taking the right kids. Could there be 2 or 3 decommitments? Sure, but I don't think you're going to see a lot. And then, man, Darren. So that has me excited. But look at the players they're landing. I'm going to write a story about this at Blue and Gold this week, along with that Al Washington column that I keep pushing back. It's been on the docket for like a month now. But after landing Tiki Hola in addition to Rodney Dunham and Ebenezer Uatade. I got it right. The recruiting wins, Darren. Rodney Dunham from Charlotte, they directly beat out Georgia. Ebenezer Uatade beat out Georgia and Bama. Javian Osborne directly beat out Michigan. Tyler Merrill go into PA and beat out Penn State. Jonas Walton going into Georgia and beating out Florida and Alabama. Aiden Pouncey going into Florida, beating out a kid. That Pouncey last name, that is, yes, the Pouncey twins. That's Aiden's second cousins who played at Florida and then with the Dolphins and the Steelers. Both of his older brothers played at Florida. He grew up a Bama fan and Miami fan. And then it came down to Notre Dame and Michigan, and he picks Notre Dame. He told me, Darren, last week when I was in the Orlando area, when he announced his top 10 in the winter, Notre Dame was his 10th school.
Wow.
3-4 months later, he's committed to Notre Dame. Gregory Patrick, Michigan State legacy. Notre Dame beats out the Spartans and Michigan. Noah Grubbs, Notre Dame goes into Florida and beats out North Carolina, Miami, and a few others. Thomas Davis Jr. Darren, I'm literally just reading down the commits in highest ranked to lowest, right? And just going through all their sources. Thomas Davis Jr. commits to Notre Dame early. Big time offers. Georgia just offered him. His dad, Thomas Davis Sr., played at Georgia and then with the Panthers for a long time. Georgia's offered him. Thank you. Honor. I'm good. He's good. I could keep going. And there's more 4-star guys to talk about, but we'll cut it off there. I mean, yeah, Chasten Smith commits to Notre Dame over Clemson and A&M. Like we like just these recruiting wins and a lot of Southern schools. And these kids are coming from public schools too. So it's not like, you beat out this school for a Chicago Catholic kid, or he goes to a Jesuit school, Forney, Texas, or Carrollton, Georgia, at the heart of SEC country. Notre Dame is plucking kids out of there. Like the Aiden Pouncey recruitment is just the epitome of why Notre Dame fans should be so excited right now. It's like I talked about, Miami fan, grew up loving Bama, had LSU after him as a claim to DBU, Florida connections, loved Michigan. All those schools would have taken his commitment from what I understand, Notre Dame. He visited Notre Dame once and loved it and fell in love with the campus. Like that is the Marcus Freeman. When you hire Marcus Freeman, it is for like the vision is what you're seeing in the 26 class, or a large part of it, right? Is sure he's going to be a great coach and he was a great defensive coordinator. We saw that at Cincinnati and then his single year at Notre Dame as DC. But then it's like, man, take this program to the next level, bring in a different caliber of prospect. Sure, Notre Dame signed great players over the years, but it just seems like the ceiling is raised. I don't think Notre Dame lands Aiden Pouncey with Brian Kelly. I don't know if they land Rodney Dunham as much of as a Notre Dame kid as Rodney Dunham is. I don't know if Brian Kelly's staff goes after him as hard. Because look, Dunham won a year, and this is the 5-star defensive end from Charlotte. We talked about him a ton, Darren. If a 5-star is wearing glasses, you feel better about it, right? We talked about this a ton. Dunham went a year without visiting campus. I feel like it would have been easy to just be like, man, he's not showing much interest. Let's go after another kid. And they didn't. They still went after him so hard. He gets to campus in March and commits a couple days later, at least silently, and then announced it in April. I mean, it's just like the staff, there's a vision. They're going after these kids that fit Notre Dame and are also really good players. They're just doing a really good job, Darren. I didn't grow up a Notre Dame fan. I'm not like if you cut me, I'm not bleeding blue and gold. But I think my excitement here means a little bit more than just some Notre Dame fan who's excited that Notre Dame's landing really good recruits. I'm excited because I've covered Notre Dame for the past 6 years. And what they're doing here is just different. This has really been awesome to see. And yeah, there's several months to go until signing day. I totally understand. I get that. But damn, like it's got the potential to be a really special class.